If you don't mind me saying, you don't have to have it all figured out.
If you don't mind me saying, if you take the day off, they will survive. That's a promise.
If you don't mind me saying, you are not alone.
If you don't mind me saying, hii Kanairo haitaki makasiriko. At the beginning of January 2020, we had our Pit Stop Forum event. Pit Stop Forum is a forum we started in 2019, and we realized that for the first time in history, 4 generations have met each other in the marketplace. And there was no communication happening. People were leaving jobs early because they're all fighting. So the forum basically was birthed just to be able to show people how to communicate, how to work cohesively, and how to be profitable instead of killing each other in the marketplace. So during our January 2020 event, we had just done an entire year of different Pit Stop Forum events, which happens every month. And so in January, we flipped the, whatever you call it, and we asked the delegates, what topics do you want us to cover? So people said, we love all the topics we've covered, but we feel that just when we're about to do a deep dive, the session is over. So how about instead of taking one day in a month to do a particular topic, why don't we have an extended period? So that birthed 7 topics that we picked, and among them was career, spiritual, family, finances, mental health, physical health. And we realized that out of all those, if your mental health is not okay, nothing else is going to work. So we decided to start with that topic. Then COVID happened. So we now had to change the way we were going to do it. So October, because October 11th is Mental Health Day, we decided instead of just marking one day, why don't we use that month from October 1st to October 31st to raise awareness. And we knew it was going to end after that. Then we move on to the next topic. But what we didn't realize is how dire the situation was. Today, when we are recording this, is June 1st. And on June 1st, 2019, President Uhuru Kenyatta, during his Madaraka Day speech, declared mental health a national epidemic in this country because of the rising cases of depression, suicide, and femicide. And this was before the pandemic. So what happened after the campaign, it opened up a portal where people loved the way we shared the information in a very non-threatening way. We made it palatable. We shared lived experiences from different people in a way that people were able to connect, and it stopped being this taboo topic. So after the campaign, I get a call from my sister, and she says, Chapel are doing a series, Nairobi Chapel, on mental health. And I told the pastor, you can speak. At that point in time, I was there like, if you don't know me by now. And they're like, you said what? And she repeated the same story. And I'm there like, I'm wrong person. She's like, but you did an entire campaign, just use that material. So they're like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
I had Carrie speak about mental health. I work in church, and we invited her to come and do a session. And it amazed me how she was able to relate mental health and the Bible, and then bring Bible characters that actually had mental health. And I was like, wow. It was amazing, and I was like, you have something there. And she started talking about it, and I was like, you really need to put it down. People really need to hear what you have to say. You don't have to be an expert, but there's something, you've grasped something. There's something that the world needs to understand, starting here home in Kenya.
And what I didn't know was that God was setting me up. So I did the speaking engagements at chapel. Then I did some with Rotary groups. I did one with Kubamba couples. I did one with FIFA. It kept moving, being given one invite after the other. And what I find very interesting is that for real, God uses the available people, because I am the most unlikely person to be doing this. So after I did the different speaking engagements, I remember this one day I got home and I was so tired, and I sat on a chair that, you know how in your house you have your favorite chair? I was not seated on my favorite chair, which is so odd. So I'm seated on this chair, and I clearly heard God telling me, I want you to write a book on mental health. Now, you know, it's God. I couldn't tell him, if you don't. But I was there like, Mungu Baba. Like, I couldn't believe. I'm there like, me? You're giving me this assignment? And I felt the weight of it. And what I had witnessed during the speaking engagements is a lot of people going through so much, a lot of people in places where they have no one to talk to, a lot of people wondering, am I the only one who's going through this? A lot of people wondering, where can we get help? How come no one is talking about this? And then just seeing the cases of suicide rising by the day. So that's when I realized this is something bigger, and it's so huge that the people who are already doing this, as psychologists, bless their hearts, are overwhelmed. There was a need for it to be an everyday conversation. So I sat down and I realized, hey, you know what? I have the slides. I've spoken to about, like, at that point in time, 10, 12 groups. All I need to do is pick the slides, make reference to my notes, and I have a book. I mean, how hard can that be?
How hard was it?
My first book took me 10 days. Nothing prepared me for the journey of this book. I felt like I was walking in the shoes of what people are going through. So if I was in a session talking about depression, stress, I got to live that and just experience what people go through. What hurt me is the fact that mental illnesses are so silent that you can be looking normal on the outside, but on the inside you're caving in, which then means you don't get the help you need. Everyone assumes you're okay. People are not okay. People are going through so much, and there's no help and support out there. So for me, writing this book, I'll be honest, there's so many times imposter syndrome checked in. Who am I to write this book? What do I know? I'm not a practicing psychologist yet. Yeah. And I kept feeling, on what authority do I have to write this? But the fact that I've experienced it by extension, that I have walked with people who've gone through it, that I have sat in different courses and sessions, I felt like no one is asking me to write a thesis about this. Write what I know, and hopefully, if it can change one life, 2 lives, then I'll have done my part. And basically, that's what this book is. That there's a quote I absolutely love, that if the book you want to read is not in the bookshelf, write it.
Recently, my daughter went through bullying, and Carrie was so instrumental in helping her do a project, because out of the bullying, she decided she wants to do a leadership project around mental health and mental well-being. And so we came here to see Carrie and say, look, Carrie, you've become sort of like a champion in this area. Help my daughter out in her project. And for me, I was so shocked when I saw the amount of work that had gone behind the scenes. I knew she was doing this, I think it was in 2020, around October, when she was doing the 30 days of mental health awareness. But I didn't realize how much research had gone on behind the scenes. So when I brought my daughter here to, for Carrie to help her with her project, I was shocked at the amount of material. I was like, Carrie, I'm now looking at you from a different light, because she had lots and lots and lots of research. And for me, this was amazing. The amount of knowledge that she has, the way she's trying to break the stigma and cause us to talk about these conversations and normalize these conversations. For me, that was that has been such a huge eye-opener. I'm super, super nervous about being featured in this book. I feel like I'm exposing a bit of myself, but at the end of the day, there are things that you expose, and then you don't actually realize that you're going to help someone. So I'm like, if it's going to help someone, then I'm grateful to God for that.
my desire is that, one, when you read the book, it will be an eye-opener. There are so many of us who don't even know that, you know how you wake up, you're there like, I'm just feeling meh, I'm not having a good day. That thing that you don't know what it is, I hope that the book will give you a name for what it is, and then you'll be able to deal with that. Secondly, my prayer is that that person who's been dealing with a mental health issue for so long, you'll finally feel seen, heard, appreciated, and that you'll be validated that, imagine you're okay and you're not an anomaly. The reality is that mental health issues, it's not a doctor's thing, it's not a thing for creatives, it's not a thing for guys in media, it's not a thing for adolescents, it's a thing that affects everyone. It doesn't discriminate, so why should we? I hope that as people read it, they'll be educated. So that if it's you, if you're not the one who's affected by mental health issues, your colleague, your sibling, your parent, you'll be more empathetic and you'll have better understanding.
Carrie, well done. Well done, well done. You've always been that friend who has shown me that no to new opportunities can never be an answer. You know, you take on challenges. It's not because you have done a PhD in something or you're an expert in something, but as long as you feel that God is leading you in a certain way, and it's not about the opinions of others. If you have the strong conviction, God is directing you and leading you in a certain way, you run for it and you go for it. And Carrie, you inspire me so much. I may have not told you this a lot, or you don't hear it much, but you really, really are an inspiration. And your gift of excellence, the gift of wisdom that you carry, your gift of love and encouragement, you're always encouraging. That's the tone of your write-ups, and you know, whatever you're writing, whatever you're speaking, and you have been that to me as a personal friend. And I can't wait to see what this new chapter, new adventure, and how it's going to unfold, where it's taking you, because it's obviously opening doors, not just locally but even globally, where it's going to take you, what new opportunities are coming your way, and more importantly, the lives of many people that will be transformed through this. Josephine has,
decided to take the bull by the horns and is going out there and talking about mental health issues. And by doing that, she's creating a platform for people to come and talk about it. People to step forward and say, this is what I go through. People to come forward and say, now I understand what so-and-so is going through. I didn't understand it before, and I was, we were part of the stigmatization, either those, meting it out, or we were being stigmatized against, or we were hiding. But now we are okay to talk about it. And that is it's a healthy space for all of us to be. So we definitely support what she's doing.
I believe this book will go global. And I'm so proud of her. I love it when she puts her mind into doing something and she'd call me and ask me, pray for me. And I know it's going to really make a difference in people's lives. It's really going to cause people to have conversations in families. It's going to bring a lot of healing in this nation. It's going to cause people to really introspect and ask myself, could I perhaps be going through this? And I don't know. She's given permission. I believe this book will give permission for people to actually have that conversation.
Congratulations to Auntie Georgie. I'm sure you did an amazing job, and I pray that you have many more to come so that you can continue reading, and that we can do this more often, where we can just talk about such topics that maybe are not seen as good or maybe taboo. Yeah. Bye everyone.